Welcome to the lecture 3, which has a title Ceramics, Glass, Metal and Fibers. This lecture has a content which has the 11 parts: Jomon pottery and Yayoi pottery, Japanese rich ceramics, development of Japanese ceramics industry, advanced ceramics production, glass technology was transferred to Japan middle of 19th century, Japanese history of metal works, photovoltaic power generation, silk fibers, Kyoto Nishijin textile, Japanese textile industry, reverse osmosis membrane, carbon fibered carbon nanotube. This picture is very interesting. The largest water dish made of 1,570,000 pieces of ceramics presented in Aichi Expo 2006. Japan is very rich in ceramic industry. We had long history of pottery. As I introduced in my first lecture, Jomon vessel culture, Japanese oldest culture, that features how Japanese are genius in making pottery. You can see in this picture the shape of the pottery is very unique. And this pottery is almost no use for containing water or containing anything. But all the Japanese really like this kind of shape. This is a really decorating shape. And it's one indicate Japanese are very much fond of making variety of shapes, variety of quality of ceramics. As I already introduced in my first lecture, the Jomon period started almost 16,000 ago. And then from early to final period, for the long period, the Japanese, all Japanese already made different types, different shapes of Jomon pottery. House of Jomon period, we estimated after excavating many archaeological points, the old Japanese lived in this kind of housing conditions. When the period, historical period moved to the Yayoi from Jomon, the style and preparation techniques of pottery are very much advanced. The BC 3rd century to 2nd century and BC 2nd to the 1st century, gradually the quality of clay and also shape and so on gradually changed. And according to those different types and quality, we can identify the archaeological finding if the finding are always with those pottery, when and how. So this is very important to our historical scientific activities. Because we have variety of clays in Japan, Japan can produce different types of ceramics. Here, earthenware clay. This is very simple open firing, temperature something around 700, 900 degrees Celsius, without glazing. And because of this quality, water absorbency is high. Stoneware, clay, rich in silicate, and kiln firing, so that's at higher temperature we can produce this pottery, then almost no water absorbency. This is good for keeping water and moisture food substances. And then ceramics clay, rich in kaolinite and montmorillonite, and because of those clay molecular context, we can make at relatively high temperature with glazing. Because of a glazing, we can have a good water absorbency. Porcelain or china. This is the very strong and good ceramics, which clay is rich in quartz and aluminosilicate. So that's the we can make in kiln firing. Temperature is around 1300 degrees Celsius. No water absorbency. Now you can understand those are variety of ceramics or potteries we can in Japan we can produce. Those are the examples. Here are stoneware, and then ceramics shigaraki yaki, and then ceramics. This is water Japanese sake container and sake cups, and here is a porcelain kiyomizu yaki. This is the glass for hot tea drink, and then the beautiful decoration ceramics plate. Actually, those technologies are transferred from Korea and China. China developed ceramics technology that was transferred to Korea. And then when Japan invaded Korea late 16th century, the samurai captured Korean ceramics engineers. They were brought in Japan, forced to move to Japan, and they introduced technologies. After introduced technology, they were freed back to Korea. Ceramics and China started production in Japan. Since then, Japan became a big exporter of China to Europe and the Middle East. European countries started own production ceramics. All royal families, they tried to create their own ceramic factories. And here are famous brands in the world. Wedgwood, for example, and Royal Worcester, and Hecht, and Meissen, and Delft, and those are the very famous European ceramic factories. All of them try to pursue the China technologies.